Call the meeting to order.
Nash,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
We have some minutes to approve this evening. These are the minutes from our February 13th, 2012 work session. And I move we approve those minutes.
Second.
Nash,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
We have the minutes from the February 13th, 2012 regular session. And I move we approve those minutes.
Nash,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
This evening, we have a public hearing to zone property annexed into the city limits to I-1 Light Industrial, and I move that we open the public hearing.
Second.
Nash,
Yes?
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. This parcel of property, which is 52.68 acres, is the property that was purchased by the City of Mexico and Audrain County with plans to develop it as an industrial technical park adjacent to the Missouri Plant Science Center. To cover the details of the annexation, map, and all the details, we will turn to Rita Jackson.
This City Council agenda item concerns a request from the City of Mexico and Audrain County to zone their 52.6-acre tract of land to I-1 Light Industrial. This property was purchased by the City of Mexico and Audrain County in November of 2011 with plans for the development of a technology park. Funds used for this purpose were from the Community Development Block Grant Program, the City of Mexico, and Audrain County. This property is located, as you can see from the map, it's east of the Plant Science Center, north of Highway 54 along Audrain County Road 820. It was annexed actually into the city on January 9th of 2012. But in 2009, you can see the portion that is zoned R1. That was brought in at the time we annexed the 10 acres that the Plant Science Center is located on. Alfenberg had some property that was annexed into the city, and that tract of land, Mr. Seidenstricker's. A public hearing was held, and during that 14-day waiting period, there was no comment objecting to the annexation. The Planning and Zoning Committee, they actually met. Property owners within 185 feet were sent notices regarding the rezoning request with no opposition received by the City of Mexico. And when property is actually annexed into the city, it comes in with no zoning classification because the county does not have zoning. Unless other circumstances are present, such as a known development like technology park, the general practice is to zone the newly incorporated land into the zoning district that most closely matches that of the county zoning. And as I stated, we have no county zoning. And in instances where there's no county zoning, current and surrounding land uses should be evaluated to determine the most appropriate classification. And oftentimes this land is undeveloped, so it's usually agricultural, and it comes in as a lighter zoning such as the R1. On January the 5th, the Planning and Zoning Commission met, and they are making recommendations to recommend the zoning to City Council.
So we are zoning the 52.68 acres is I-1.
The actual
recommendation.
52.6 acres is actually the yellow, and it also includes the R1, which has already previously been rezoned in 2009. It was annexed and brought into the city in 2009 when we did the Plant Science Center and some other properties out there. So we're actually going to zone the yellow portion I-1, and we're going to rezone the R1 to I-1 also, and that covers the entire 52 acres.
Okay.
Any comments, questions? Any public comment or questions? Okay. Hearing none, I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
Lesh,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Okay, under new business resolutions this evening, we have Bill Number 2012-16, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract of obligation to the Missouri Department of Natural Resources in regard to estimated post-closure expenditures for the City of Mexico sanitary landfill, permit number 0100703. This is up for reading and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. The City of Mexico had its own sanitary landfill, which closed in '98. As a part of that, we have to do a post-closure activities and have financial reports and so on to approve the assurance of that. So we have some duties that go on beyond the closure time. And to cover what we are doing now with our financial assurance, I will turn to Roger Haynes to cover the details for you.
As Bruce mentioned, the City of Mexico did close its sanitary landfill in 1998. As part of that, we go into a post-closure term of 30 years, and we have to submit periodically reports to DNR on whether or not we are providing proper financial backing to support any problems that the landfill might have. We'll note that we did have an inspection by DNR back in August, and we had we call a clean audit of that landfill. On February 7, 2012, staff submitted an updated financial assurance instrument to Missouri DNR, noting a potential post-closure cost estimate of $277,536. As of September 30, 2011, the city has already reserved $109,077 in the post-closure fund and projects receiving into the fund annually $7,623 for the remaining term of the post-closure, which will cover estimated expenditures for post-closure. Based on the financial assurance agreement, the city's Standard & Poor's credit rating of AA- and the city's success of the city's post-closure funding mechanism, the city has the opportunity to enter into a contract of obligation with Missouri DNR for post-closure funding purposes, rather than be directed to expend funds to purchase a surety bond or obtain an irrevocable letter of credit for estimated post-closure cost. So in short, our financial strength is allowing us to do a contract of obligation rather than go out and expend money to buy a surety bond protecting Missouri DNR in case there were post-closure cost expenses that the city was unable to fund. Staff recommends that council proceed with reading and passage of the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a contract of obligation with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. And I'd be glad to answer any questions.
So is there any cost to us on this?
No, there is no cost. The agreement basically says that if a post-closure expense came up that we didn't have the funding for, DNR could step in and intercept revenues that the state sends us to take care of any issue, again, that we could not fund. Since we went into post-closure, part of our monthly sanitation rate is a post-closure fee, and it's approximately 15 cents per month per customer, and that's how we've built up these reserves. Typically, over the past several years, we've averaged spending less than $1,000 a year in maintenance of that landfill. Again, because we've kept good cover on it, and it was taken care of correctly when we first did close that landfill.
What all do you do as far as maintenance out there?
Again, we have inspections annually by DNR. They will go out and make sure that we've got good soil cover of the post-closure area. If they would happen to note an area of erosion, then they will note it, let us know. Kenzie's department makes that correction, and then they come out, re-inspect, and give us the clearance on it.
Would we still set aside $7,600 a year?
Of the customers base that we have at 15 cents per month, that's approximately what it generates.
Okay. Would we still set that aside for anticipation of
Yes,
any claims against us for the closure?
that is correct.
So this is basically just an insurance policy if it goes over that amount. Is that right?
Well, we are not purchasing an insurance policy. DNR has looked at our financial strength and the fact that we're already reserving money and what we've expended in the past and what we anticipate in reserving, and saying all we need is a contract of obligation. If they found that our financial strength was weak, or if we were not setting money aside properly to take care of annual expenses, then they might require us, or probably would require us, to buy a surety bond or a irrevocable letter of credit.
So this agreement basically just reduces the potential of our bond exposure, right? Is that what-
That is correct. If we were to go out and buy a surety bond of $300,000 and made it basically to protect DNR, I had received an estimate today that it would cost about $7,500 annually.
Okay.
Make one for bill number 2012-16.
Second.
Lush,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Bill number 2012-16, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract of obligation with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources regarding estimated post-closure expenditures for the City of Mexico sanitary landfill. Whereas the City of Mexico closed its sanitary landfill in 1988 and began a 30-year post-closure process as required and regulated by the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, and whereas the City of Mexico prepares an estimate of annual and cumulative costs related to post-closure activities and submits the report to the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for approval. And whereas because of the success of the city's post-closure funding mechanism, the city has the opportunity to enter into a contract of obligation with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for post-closure funding purposes rather than expend resources to purchase insurance unnecessarily. And whereas it is necessary for the city manager to sign a contract of obligation with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for post-closure funding purposes. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1. The city manager is hereby authorized to sign a contract of obligation with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. A copy is attached hereto and marked Exhibit A. Section 2. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of Bill number 2012-16.
Second.
Lush,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Bill number 2012-17, a resolution adopting residential refuge rates covering anticipated cost of sanitation services beginning April 1, 2012, and this is also up for reading and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. In 2004, we began a 10-year residential sanitation services contract with Danes Waste Disposal. That contract allows for annual adjustments, and it takes place April 1st of each year. And of course, we have other operating expenses that go with the services as well. So we look at the fees annually. To cover the details of where we're at financially and what we're looking at, I will again turn to Roger.
Okay, thank you. Staff has provided to council a line item breakdown of anticipated expenditures, which in net totals $532,074 for the 12-month cycle beginning April 1, 2012, running through March 31st, 2013. Given an average customer base of 4,308 residences served, the base monthly service rate is requested to be adjusted by less than 3%, from $10.16 to $10.44. In addition to the base rate for services, a fuel cost adjustment is made part of the monthly service fee and a result of the terms of our contract with Danes Waste Disposal, Inc. Staff recommends that council proceed by resolution setting the monthly base rate for sanitation services in the amount of $10.44 with a fuel cost adjustment rate cap of $11.14 for the 12-month period beginning April 1, 2012. In making this recommendation, I wish to note two facts that staff found of interest. One, as council can see from the attached data in the council packet, our proposed rate favors well to the average rate of 15 other surrounding communities recently surveyed. The average rate for the 15 surveyed was $13.06 per month, and 11 of the 15 surveyed are already above what is being proposed as our rate cap. Number two, of the communities surveyed, very few, if any, were able to provide the combination of services that we provide under the umbrella of sanitation services. Our rate includes weekly curbside pickup, drop-off recycling, disposal of household hazardous waste, acceptance of brush, wood mulch, spring and fall cleanup for bulk items, and free appliance pickups 2 times per year. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
What was the big cost jump? Because I just have, what we think it is now. What was it before, the total expenditures, and what was the big?
Over 50% of that, actually 18 cents of that cost jump is related to the contract with Danes Waste Disposal in that 10-year contract agreement. And then the remaining 10 cents was just cost of operations, because you have personnel cost and other contract costs besides Danes.
Does he have, I guess I'm asking, what precipitates his, does he have a limit, or how does that work? It's 18%.
Well, if I said 18%, I apologize. It was 18 cents.
Oh, 18 cents.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you did say cents.
Overall, it's less than a 3% adjustment in rate.
Sounds like we're getting a good deal.
As you can see from the survey, it's very good pricing, and we've had excellent service from Danes.
That's what I was gonna say, he's got a good price, plus with good price, he had excellent service.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he employs a lot of people in Audrain County, I think 22 at last count.
Council, I would make one other comment regarding this as well, is that we do have just 2 years left on this contract. And he has already proposed, meaning Dane, is that we look at a renewal. And certainly he's looking at his future and trying to make sure that it's stable. And I think we need to certainly look at what our costs are as we move forward. So when we come back at budget time this fall, I think we should seriously start looking at a renewal at this time so that we can lock down some long-term rates as we start planning for the future as well, and start looking at a renewal early into this time frame and not get up against the wall and for either party in this case, because we know that what we're getting, and we're getting a good deal, and we need to lock those rates down while we can.
And for the job they do, they're always smiling, they're always happy, they're always in a good mood. It's just amazing.
Any other questions?
I move for reading of bill number 2012-17.
Second.
Lesh,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bont,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Bill number 2012-17, a resolution adopting residential refuse rates covering sanitation services beginning April 1st, 2012. Whereas in 2004, the City of Mexico contracted with Danes Waste Disposal Incorporated to provide residential sanitation services, and whereas the contract includes annual pricing adjustments that are set to take place April 1st of each year, and whereas in addition to the sanitation services contract, other operating expenses related to sanitation services provided by the city must be properly funded through user fees. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the base rate for sanitation services will be $10.29 per month, plus 15 cents for the landfill post-closure fund, equaling a fee of $10.44 per household. Section 2, that City Council set the monthly base rate for sanitation services in the amount of $10.44 with a fuel cost adjusted cap rate of $11.14 for the 12-month period beginning April 1st, 2012 through March 31, 2013. Section 3, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of Bill number 2012-17.
Second.
Lesh,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Under new business ordinance, this evening we have Bill number 2012-18, an ordinance zoning a 52.68 acre parcel located east of the Plant Science Center, north of Highway 54, and along Audrain County Road 820 to I-1 Light Industrial. And this is up for 2 readings by title only and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. Earlier in this meeting, we did hold the public hearing regarding this matter, and we would, at this point, have nothing to add unless you have questions. So therefore, we'd recommend that you proceed with the 2 readings by title and passage.
I make a motion, I read bill number 2012-18, 2 readings by title only and passage.
Second.
Lesh,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes. Bill number 2012-18, an ordinance amending the district map referred to in section 15-142 of the Code of the City of Mexico, Missouri zoning to I-1 light industrial. I move for second reading of bill number 2012-18.
Second.
Lesh,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes. Bill number 2012-18, an ordinance amending the district map referred to in section 15-142 of the Code of the City of Mexico, Missouri zoning to I-1 light industrial. I move for passage of bill number 2012-18.
Second.
Lesh,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is the claims.
Move to pay.
Second.
Lesh,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Okay, we're under comments section. Council comments. Councilman Botts.
I don't believe I have anything this evening.
I don't have anything either.
Chief Rocket, a little bit over a week ago, we had a 911 call that your public safety personnel responded to, and they were a great asset on the call. I can't go around how helpful they are. They're much appreciated. I want to make sure that gets passed along to them. That's it.
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Bruce?
I have a couple things, Your Honor. I always try to take and look at regularly, and I try to comment in council briefs and so on, council, regarding what I consider economic indicators and things that are positive in the community, and hope that things are moving forward and growth. And one of the things that did come out last Friday was the Outlook edition in the paper. And there are 4 different sections here of a lot of positive type things going on. And I just want to note that, you know, as you look at those kinds of things, it's nice to see that when you talk about growth and opportunities and things that's going on, and you hear it right from the companies, I think that's a positive thing to note. The other thing that came out today was the Mexico Parks and Rec schedule of events for the year. So if you are looking for sign up for youth activities, adult activities, walking programs, softball leagues, whatever, it's all here. It's a good place to get your information and where to sign up. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda, agenda is public comments. Do we have any comments from the public this evening? Seeing none, I move we adjourn.
Ash,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bud,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Agenda?